Hey, good morning, everybody. This is John Phillips. It's Thursday morning. I don't have anything on the schedule this morning, but my house. I got to work on my house. So I came home yesterday and realized that my air conditioning's not working. I usually call a guy. I don't mess around with air conditioning. I don't really know much about it. I never got into it. But I've been watching a couple guys on YouTube, Steve Lavamoniere and Mikey Pipes, which I think they hate each other, but it is what it is. And so anyways, I think after watching these guys many episodes, I think it's probably a capacitor is shot or puffed. And so I'm gonna go around, I'm gonna bring my truck around where the air conditioning unit is, and I'm gonna check it and see. The fan is running, so that's telling me that the the capacitor on the fan is okay, and it's getting the signal from my thermostat, but the compressor outside is not kicking on. So I'm just gonna look at it. I mean, I may end up calling somebody, but I'm gonna go check it out. Hopefully I won't fucking electrocute myself. I know I watched Steve, he talks to himself every time. He says he confirms in his mind that the power's off when he goes to work on a unit. He'll pull the breaker out, and then before he sticks his hands in there, I hear him say power's off, and that's just, I would imagine him confirming in his mind that he did turn the power off. But capacitors are dangerous little animals. You could get blasted by them, and I mean, it's a pretty good fucking joke. So you got to be real careful even when the power's off. So anyways, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna look at it. If it's puffed, I'm gonna fucking go buy a new one and install it myself, stick it in there. I'm not gonna do a whole bunch of testing. It was cooling the house off fine. I don't think I need any gas or anything, but so we'll see. I'm gonna utilize my YouTube watching and maybe save myself some money. So we'll see what happens. Alright guys, so I'm over here at my compressor. Goddamn guy, you don't cut the grass. Kinda overgrown. I see my disconnect box is open. That's not a good sign. But yeah, I'm gonna yank this guy. It looks pretty good. Doesn't look like it's been arcing or anything in there. So I'm gonna pull this off. We'll see. There we go. I dropped the fucking screw. Shit. Hello. Oh shit. Oh shit, y'all. That fucking capacitor is way down in there. Jackson. She's puffed, man. She's a puffy one. And the wires look a little funky, y'all. This thing's got two capacitors. It's got like a let's see. I think I better put my goddamn glasses on, y'all. Alright. Oh, this connection looks pretty fucking nasty, I gotta say. Whoops. It's really a tough spot, man. Find a place to put the camera, yo. Man, if I get fucking blasted, I am not gonna be happy. So the last guy who was here, yeah, this thing's definitely, there's no doubt that it's puffed. Let me, I'm gonna turn this camera off and then get this tape off and see what's going on. Alright guys, so, you know, to the naked eye, inexperienced, I can see that that's just a horrible fucking connection on that red wire, and it's heated up, so there's probably been a little arcing going on, and it's definitely puffed. You can see the top of that thing and the bottom. The bottom's puffed, but the top's even worse. So this is definitely bad. I'm not going to bother testing it, but I believe that this other capacitor is like a hot start, is what I understand. So I'm going to take a picture of both of these, and I'm going to go to the electrical supply place and get some of these. It's an 85 from what I can see, but I'm going to take a picture and just match it up, get close, and I'm going to clean all this shit out of here. When I watch them guys, I don't know why, you know, they don't have, honestly, when I always try to think of how you could do something better, but when I see all this shit, Milwaukee sells a nice little portable blower, battery operated, and you know, if I were doing this work, the first thing I'd do is blow all this fucking shit out of here, the dust, you know what I mean? It probably doesn't have anything to do with it, but it just adds to the, you know, the mess. So I like shit clean, and I'm looking at the rest of this. I'm looking as best I can at the back of this control panel, and I don't see any like burn marks or some looking like something burned up. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna go get a capacitor and a hot start. I guess that's what that is. Take a picture of it and I'll be back. Hey, so I just want to share this with you. You know, I lost my sister back in August on the 25th, my oldest sister. We grew up in, you know, Riverside, and we're a big family. And I went to my mailbox this morning and got my mail, and in the mailbox was a card from the McShanes. I believe he's a plumber, Patrick. Very nice that he reached out to me, wrote me a nice card, expressing their sympathy for the loss of my sister. I know that in their family, cancer, you know, has, a few people have dealt with that. So they know, you know, they know the feeling, but they also have a huge family. Like, we had 11 kids, and they have, I think they may have more kids than we had, but nice people, and I really appreciate Patrick reaching out to me. If you're watching, I know he's a plumber, and he may tune in to my YouTube page. If you are Patrick, I just want to say thank you. It meant a lot to me, and God bless you and your family, and stay safe, my friend. Thank you. Thanks for the card, buddy. So I'm gonna head to this electrical supply place. I'm not gonna go to Home Depot or whatever. I know that these guys, they'll have what I need, the exact thing. You know, when I watch these videos, I always think, you know, they change the I'm sure on that tag on the unit itself, it tells you what capacitor that it needs. And but I see, you know, a lot of guys, if they don't have the exact one, you know, they put in what they have, and most of the time it'll get you by, you know. But my concern is always, are you putting the right one in? So that's what I want to do. I should have looked at the tag, but that was one of my questions watching these videos. You know, even up, you know, when they're doing burners and changing the nozzles, I just, sometimes they're a little up or lower than what was in there, and they're basing it off of what's in there at this point, but it may have been changed 3 times in the process over the lifespan, and it may be totally off. You know, I mean, the guys, they're going to put in what they have on their truck. Sometimes you don't have the exact one, but you got one that will work. But my question was always, you know, which one's supposed to be in there, you know? And I'm sure it's on, maybe somebody can answer that question for me. But the other thing is, last night was interesting, man. So I had no air conditioning. It was 80 degrees in my house. And so I took a fan, and I brought the fan in to my bedroom, and I put it in a position so that the air was like circulating around the room. And at about 3:30, 4 o'clock, I didn't know that was the time at that point, but I woke up and I realized that the fan wasn't working. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? It seemed like the power was out, you know? Like, I have an alarm clock, there were no lights. So I realized the power's off in the house, but my eyes are bad, and I wake up and I literally couldn't see it. I thought I died, man. I was like, what the fuck, man? Am I on the other side now or what? Anyways, I could put my hand in front of my face and couldn't see my hand. So I stumbled my way out to the front door, and this is like 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning. And I walk out the front door in my fucking underwear out to the road, and I look down the street, and the whole street's black. Then I turn to the right and look across Proctor into the other neighborhood down there, and that's totally black. And I was like, fuck, man, we lost power. And supposedly the whole grid went out for about 15-20 minutes, man, in the middle of the night. And so I just went back to bed, and I was happy to hear that fan kick back on, because I'll tell you what, I run hot, man. I need some air conditioning or some air circulation, or I'm going to be sweating my ass off. So I was happy to get that fan kicked back on, and I was happy to know that, you know, I actually paid my electric bill on time, and they didn't turn my electric off. You know, I'm a little lax in that area. Just fucking send them the check when they're ready to shut me off. But yeah, bookkeeping and that shit's never been my strong point. But anyways, yeah, I'll be heading to this supply house and get these capacitors. See this place? Shark Coast Tactical. These are the guys who are arming the resistance here in Sarasota. You know, the guys who are ready to start a civil war. Yeah, these guys, they're all fucking packing heat, and they all drive these ominous looking vehicles that, you know, they look like fucking war machines, you know? Big grills on the front and tires, and just fucking, these people are insane. They're fucking out there. They live in a fucking alternate reality, and they're scary, actually, with all these fucking AK-47s and government, you know, as bad as a fucking AK-47 is, your little fucking pea shooter ain't gonna do much against a fucking helicopter with fucking missiles on it from 3 miles away, taking your fucking house out. So, a little word to the wise: you don't be picking a fight with, you know, don't be writing checks your ass can't cash, is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's see where this place is. Here we go, City Electric. City Electric, man, it's tough. This is a tough place. There ain't no fucking parking here. Alright, guys. Alright, so I went to the electrical supply place and they don't fucking have them. All they got are these little dinky things for lighting and shit, you know? So I'm on my way back to, I drove right by this place. It's an appliance repair parts place. And I'm gonna run down there. I called them first and they said they have them, so we're gonna give it a shot. I'm trying to get out of this parking lot with this fucking big beast without tearing something up. Ripping my ass end off. Alright, guys. Alright, so I got the stuff I need. And this is a nice little supply house for air conditioning supplies. Unit, you can buy air conditioning units, everything here. Goodman, which I hear good things about them. But I've been kicking around the idea. There's a school literally on the next corner from my house, and this place is a mile from my house. But I've been kicking around the idea, going to school and getting my certification for air conditioning down here in Florida. And it'd be a nice, I'll be honest, man, I gotta do more. I gotta get back to work full time. But doing, you know, doing AC would be a nice thing, because everybody's using air down here and they use them year round. I mean, it's fucking hot down here, but yeah, maybe something I'm gonna get into, man. I'm gonna kick it around. I'm gonna check in to see what the school costs and see if I can go nights. And then I'll just take a, you know, I'm a big seminar guy for getting licensed. I mean, I took a seminar to get my journeyman license. It was a long test. I think like they give you 8 hours to take the test. Yeah, I did pretty good on that. I passed it the first time down here. And then when I did my master's, I took a seminar, and this guy was he's really cool. You can, if you take his seminar, you pay for it. You can, you know, go as many times as you want before the test. And if you don't pass the test, you can go again for free up to a year to retake the test. Fortunately for me, I passed both tests the first time. I'm a lot smarter than I look. No, I'm kidding. I usually tell people I'm a lot dumber than I look, which that's probably closer to the truth. But so anyways, I'm kicking that around. Maybe go to AC school, John Phillips Plumbing and Air, and it'd be a good little gig, man. I could run around changing fucking capacitors and you know, gas and go, as they call it. I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that, but there's a lot of easy money with it, it seems like. So anyways, let me get over here and try to fix my own fucking air conditioning system. Alright, so when I went to that supply house, I wanted to buy a little connector kit, but I forgot to ask him. And luckily my buddy across the street's an electrician, and he just may have the ones I need. I think it's called a flag connector, but we'll see. Alright guys, so here we go now. I got the same exact I'm going to do these one at a time. I've got the same exact capacitor. Let's try to do this without fucking blasting myself. So my plan is, I did buy the hot start capacitor, and I bought the hot start capacitor, and I also I'm not going to put it in. I'm going to see if this works, and if that works, that's fine. I wanted to change this connection because it's funky as hell, but I forgot to ask for it. And then I went to my buddy's house across the street. Bella, shut the fuck up. God damn it. Yeah, I went to my buddy's house across the street, and he's not there. His truck's there, but he rents. He goes. He's a professional dart guy too, so he goes all over the place for tournaments. Yeah, that thing's crunchy. That's horrible, man. Not good at all. Yeah, that's not a good connection. But I'm gonna put it together. I'm gonna let it sit here, just hang out, and see what happens. See if this baby kicks on, and then I'll turn it back off. Alright guys, here we go now. Hopefully this thing's gonna fire up, boys. It didn't. Alright, so I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna pull this out, and I'm gonna change this hot start. Power's off. It's a valuable lesson. Be careful of that other fucking capacitor. Brush your fingers across that guy and get fucking blasted too, so. This guy with the fucking tape. Alright, so. We could have a couple issues here. I just got to make sure it's actually calling. So I believe these are called flag connectors, which I need to change that one out, but for now I'm just gonna let's see what happened. All right, so I gotta go make sure I didn't turn the unit off. I may have. All right, guys, so I did turn it off last night. It's on cool. I got it set at 75. It's 80 degrees in here. And we'll see if that baby kicked on. The fan up in the attic on the air handler is working. Should be able to hear this. She running. Heh. Fucking. I fixed her myself, y'all. Ain't that fucking easy. I don't know how much that is for a service call, but I could do that. What the fuck? Like I said, that's about the most basic call you can get, but you know, it's an easy one. So he's running. I can feel heat coming out of this. Not a lot. Yeah, it's kicking. A lot of heat coming out of it. I really need to clean this guy out. I've got oak trees. I need to get this thing cleaned out, and it stays pretty clean, the coil, but it wouldn't hurt to clean it. And yeah, this is hot air coming out of it, and I just want to feel these pipes. So the little one is hot, getting hot. This one's pretty cold. I'm sure it's going to get colder. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple pieces of tape on these and stick them back in. I'm going to, I could have, the guy tried to sell me one capacitor that would have done what both of these are doing, and I was concerned that the one he was selling me was going to be too big for this hole, but it looks like it would have been fine, so I can do that next time. Yeah, she's cool and good. That air is really hot coming out of the top, and I'll be sleeping comfortably. But yeah, I need to tape this up just temporarily, because I am going to change that connector. It's definitely been hot, and I don't need that to go. So it's in unsafe condition. I'm going to go ahead and pull this fucking breaker again. And what I do is when I pull this breaker out, I just pull it out and set it right on top in the position that it was in, because if you flip it over, it's not going to kick on. So I just pull it out, stick it up on top in exactly the position that it needs to go back in, and we'll get this wrapped up. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do with this tape is I'm going to have to take it off, you know, in a little while. So what I'm going to do is put like 4 pieces. I don't think, like that guy, whoever it was, taped the living shit out of it. I don't think you really want to do that. I think if moisture gets in there or water, you want that shit to be able to get out. So what I'm gonna do is like you can see, I've got like four layers here, so it's pretty thick, and I fold the end over so that I could just grab it and peel it off. I'm going to do one for that hot spot too. That one's going to be permanent because those connectors are good. 2. Some people, man, with fucking duct tape, it can be a fucking problem. So, anyways, here we go now. And I also want to put this tape on in such a manner that, you know, you can read the fucking, you can actually read the tag on it. Alright guys, so power's still off. I'm gonna go ahead and put these screws back. I'm putting new screws in. I seem to have lost both of the screws that were in here, so I think that's a common problem. So I got a tray, I got a box full of nice screws. So. Put this back together and then fucking throw the power to it, which maybe I just don't want to be handling this plate in case it gets into something and I get fucking blasted. It's all my heart needs. Unfortunately, this guy's really close to the house, and I can't see the holes. That's it. The hardest part's always the simplest part, right? Alright, fuck those screws. I'm gonna fix that when I change that connector out. That's gonna do it, guys. Alright, power's back on. Unit's running good. These screws aren't really... I have another package of these that are smaller. These are self-tappers. Kind of a pain in the ass to get in on the back side there, but that's no biggie. So I've got these two old capacitors, and I think I saw somebody put them in upside down in the ground to maybe discharge them. All right, brother. Thank you very much. Have a great day. He just picked up my old scrap water heater. Anyways, you still got to be careful with these fuckers. Even though they're old and disconnected, you still get fucking blasted, I think. So I jammed them in the ground. See if they discharge. You could cross it with a screwdriver, I guess. But I'm not gonna fuck around. I don't know enough about it. Oh yeah, I just saw a little spark. So we're good, guys. I'll be fucking sleeping good tonight. Have a great day. That's my first air conditioning service call. I think it went well. Thanks to all this technology. You don't know how much time it took me. It took me 6 hours to do that. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. But yeah, we're good, man. Hopefully my house will be cool here in the next half hour, 45 minutes. And I'm on to the next one. Yeah, it wouldn't be fair for me to close out this video without thanking Steve Lavamoniere and Mikey Pipes. Yeah, fucking Mikey Pipes, man. Anyways, have a great day, guys. Thanks for all the information you share on YouTube. It's much appreciated. Later, Gator. All right, guys, so it's 79 degrees in here. I'm gonna push this up to 76. That's what I keep it at during the day. All right, guys, so I want to explain my thought process with this AC unit not working or not cooling my house. So prior to yesterday, the air conditioning system was working fine. Now I've gained all this information just from watching videos on YouTube. So I'm not an air conditioning guy, but I'm thinking of getting going to school for it and possibly getting an air conditioning license and you know, try doing some of that, man. It can't be that hard. I mean, it's a challenge. It's going to be a learning curve, but I think I could do it. So maybe that's in my future, but so anyways, I come home yesterday, my air conditioning's not working. The day before it was working. So I know I wasn't low on Freon, at least that's my thought, or whatever the gas may be, the refrigerant. The fan in the house is working. You can hear it running, and I'm also getting airflow through the vents. Good airflow, normal airflow. So I know that the condenser is not iced up. So I go outside and I look at the compressor, and that's not iced up either. The thermostat appeared to be working. I mean, meaning it was calling, and that's what turned the fan on in the house. And so I went to bed, and I knew that I probably had a bad capacitor out in the unit. So that was my thinking. And I was correct in that. It was a bad capacitor. It could be other things. You know, if it was iced up, then that would mean I probably need gas. If I replaced those capacitors and it still didn't kick on, then you could get into a, you know, it could be a couple of things. The switch is in there, and the transformer could be bad. Usually it's humming. And I don't know if there's even a transformer outside. I think it's probably up on the air handler itself, and sends a low voltage signal down to the compressor to kick on. But anyways, that was my thinking. And on this one, it worked out. I just came in the house when I started this morning. The house was 80 degrees. It's 79 or 78 right now, and I can feel it when I walk in the door that the house is cool. So I saved myself some money. It cost me $60 for both of those, which I probably paid, you know, list plus, because the guy, I'm not an air conditioning contractor. I'm sure I paid the same price any Joe Schmo off the street would have paid. They're probably a lot cheaper than that, but that's what I ended up paying, $61 for both of them. The hot start capacitor and the 80. And I realized that the 80, it's not 80/5, it's 80 plus or minus 5. The guy at the supply house explained that to me, that if you tested that out and it came up 85 microfarads, then it's good. And if it was less than, like 5 less at 75 from 80, then that's still a good capacitor. But it may not be enough to jumpstart that. I've got a 5-ton unit, and when it kicks on, it's like, you know, a fucking huge vacuum is starting up in my house. I mean, it causes negative pressure. It's a big, big unit for this house. But anyways, that's where I am. I did it myself. I feel good, and it's making me want to go sign up for this air conditioning class. It's just around the corner from my house, literally like the next block, and I could go there nights and learn air conditioning. If not to go into business, you know, to eventually take the test, you know, I'd have to go through a seminar and all that shit. They basically teach you the test down here. But you got to know what you're doing. You're not going to pass a test if you're a fucking idiot. But anyways, if not to take the test and start doing AC and qualify my business for an air conditioning license, just for my own personal knowledge, to understand what's going on. It's pretty interesting. It's a lot more technical than plumbing, per se. You know, plumbing can get interesting if you're doing big commercial jobs and sizing and all that stuff. But if you're just a house plumber, it's pretty cut and dry. There's nothing special about it whatsoever. But, you know, testing, electrical testing, and knowing all of that and reading schematics, that's, you know, that's pretty technical stuff, and I wouldn't mind knowing about it. So anyways, have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Continue watching my videos. Continue watching whoever you watch. Like I said, I gave a shout out to Steve Lavamoniere and Mikey Pipes. I watched those two guys, and I've learned a lot, man. So it's like on the job training, and you know, you may get 15-20 minutes a day, or you know, I don't watch it every day, but you may get 15 minutes of standing there with a master AC guy or plumber and pick up some tips, man. So anyways, have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.